I added Fiat to F1 22, put all the settings to automatic, and simulated 10 seasons. Can Fiat become a top Italian team in Formula 1 like Ferrari? Stay tuned to find out. My name is Chris, welcome back to CFRacing, and enjoy the video. Today's video is sponsored by Formula Neon, and I am pleased to work alongside the brand as an affiliate. If you guys like Formula 1, house, room, or setup decor, then you will love Neon Track. Designed, engineered, and for true motorsport fans, Neon Track is perfect for your space. And to accommodate for your space, the decor is offered in 3 different sizes, along with options for your desk and wall. Sector map designs light up each sector in 3 different colors, or you can go to the multicolor design where you can set a purple lap like GoTV in the final practice of Hungary in 2022. With over 200 colors to explore and 22 tracks, Formula Neon is perfect for every motorsport fan. Use code CFRacing for 10% off the top ongoing discounts on the website. So for example, if it's 50% off, you get 60% off using my link in the description. Thank you Formula Neon for sponsoring today's video. Hey everybody, what's going on? Chris here, otherwise known as CFRacing, and today everybody, we are adding one of the most popular car brands in the whole world, and actually the car brand that does actually own Ferrari. Today, we are adding Fiat to Formula 1. A personal favorite of mine. I've never driven a Fiat, never been in a Fiat, but hey, you know, they're an Italian brand. I have an Italian background. I like Ferrari, so great to see Fiat joining the Formula 1 grid. Do want to give a couple shout outs to Voli Ray for helping me out with today's simulation video, along with the mod creator for this Fiat mod. Links are in the description to check it out. They did a great job with this mod. Also want to say, if you guys want a shout out in the next video, all you got to do is leave a super thanks in the comment section down below. Also, you can also get a shout out as well if you do become a member. You can also get a shout out as well if you do become a member on the channel. All you gotta do is click that join button and just keep subscribing for however long you want, basically. Also want to say, if you guys want to join a great Formula 1 community, then join my Discord. Link is in the description down below. There is almost 1,000 of you guys in there now, which is awesome. So hopefully by the end of today's video, or maybe the next one or something, we can get to 1,000. That would be amazing. And with that being said, let's take a look at the admin for Fiat. So for the admin for Team Fiat, the engine supplier that I chose is quite simple. It is going to be Ferrari, as Fiat does own Ferrari. It just makes sense that they would use a Ferrari engine. The main driver for all 10 seasons for Fiat is going to be an Italian driver, and that is going to be Antonio Giovinazzi. The second driver for the first season at least is going to be Juri Vips, and it looks like Fiat is going to start off as a midfield team. And last but certainly not least, here is the livery for Fiat. In 2021, Charles Leclerc wins his first ever World Drivers' Championship as he takes 9 wins on the year, 423 points to finish P1. Carlos Sainz takes 4 wins, 302 points to finish P2. Lando Norris takes 4 wins, 292 points to finish P3. Max Verstappen takes 4 wins, 249 points to finish P4. Sergio Perez takes 0 wins, 185 points to finish P5. And Kevin Magnussen had a great season for Haas as he took 1 win, 161 points to finish P6. Ferrari win their first Constructors title since 2008, followed by Red Bull in P2, McLaren at P3, Haas P4, can't believe that, Fiat P5, Alfa Romeo at P6. Looks like the Ferrari power teams had a great time in this simulation so far, followed by Mercedes, Alpine, AlphaTauri, Williams, and Haas in dead last. In the driver transfer market, Sergio Perez decides to retire from Formula 1. That moves Lewis Hamilton to Red Bull. Lando Norris also goes to Red Bull. Lance Stroll goes to Mercedes. Robert Schwartzman heads to Mercedes. Zhou Guanyu goes to Aston Martin. Oscar Piastri goes to Alfa Romeo. Enzo Fittipaldi goes to Fiat. Max Verstappen ends up as a free agent, which I've never seen at the end of Season 1, and Juri Vips also ends up as a free agent. And heading into 2023, there is a regulation change to the chassis and durability departments. In 2023, Charles Leclerc wins his second consecutive World Drivers' Championship as he takes 9 wins on the year, 413 points to finish P1. George Russell takes 5 wins on the year, 358 points to finish P2. Lewis Hamilton takes 6 wins, 355 points to finish P3. And Lando Norris takes 2 wins, 298 points to finish P4. Red Bull win their first Constructors' Championship since 2013, followed by Ferrari P2, McLaren P3, Alpine P4, Mercedes P5, Haas P6, AlphaTauri P7, Fiat P8, Williams P9, Aston Martin P10, and Alfa Romeo in dead last. We have some mid-season driver transfers as Yuri Vips went to Alfa Romeo mid-season and Alfa Romeo dropped Oscar Piastri. At the end of the year, Fernando Alonso retires from Formula 1, Kevin Magnussen goes to Alpine, Valtteri Bottas goes to Haas, Lando Norris goes to Alfa Romeo, Lewis Hamilton goes to McLaren, Alexander Albon goes to Red Bull, Lance Stroll goes to Williams, Yuri Vips goes to Mercedes, Max Verstappen goes to Mercedes, and Robert Schwartzman goes to Alfa Romeo. And heading into 2024, there is a regulation change to the aero and power departments. In 2024, Charles Leclerc wins his 3rd consecutive World Drivers' Championship as he takes 13 wins on the year, 484 points to finish P1. Alexander Albon takes 5 wins, 333 points to finish P2. George Russell takes 2 wins, 292 points to finish P3. Carlos Sainz takes 0 wins, 274 points to finish P4. Max Verstappen takes 1 win, 244 points to finish P5. Kevin Magnussen takes 0 wins, 201 points to finish P6. And Lewis Hamilton takes 1 win, 152 points to finish P7. Ferrari win their 2nd Constructors title of the simulation, followed by Red Bull P2, Alpine P3, McLaren P4, Mercedes P5, Haas P6, Fiat P7, AlphaTauri P8, Alfa Romeo P9, Williams P10, and Aston Martin in dead last. In the driver transfer market mid-season, Alessio Dell'Edda, I don't know how this happened, he went to Fiat, and that moves Enzo Fittipaldi to a free agency. And at the end of the year, Sebastian Vettel and Lance Stroll both retire from Formula 1. That moves Carlos Sainz to Aston Martin, Daniel Ricciardo to Ferrari, Enzo Fittipaldi to McLaren, Max Verstappen to Williams, Esteban Ocon to Mercedes, Nicholas Latifi to Alpine, Oscar Piastri goes to Williams. And heading into 2025, there is no regulation change. In 2025, Charles Leclerc wins his 4th consecutive World Drivers' Championship as he takes 15 wins on the year, 485 points to finish P1. George Russell takes 2 wins, 336 points to finish P2. Daniel Ricciardo takes 2 wins, 304 points to finish P3. Alexander Albon takes 1 win, 274 points to finish P4. Lewis Hamilton takes 1 win, 266 points to finish P5. And Enzo Fittipaldi takes 1 win, 265 points to finish P6. Ferrari win their 3rd Constructors title of the simulation, followed by Red Bull P2, McLaren P3, Mercedes P4. Williams move up to P5 with Verstappen on their team, AlphaTauri P6, Alpine P7, Fiat P8, Alfa Romeo P9, Haas P10, and Aston Martin in dead last. In the driver transfer market, we have some more mid-season transfers as mid-season, Yuri Vips goes to AlphaTauri and Yuki Tsunoda went to Mercedes. And at the end of the year, Daniel Ricciardo goes to Mercedes, Robert Schwartzman goes to Ferrari, Esteban Ocon goes to Alfa Romeo, Liam Lawson goes to Mercedes, Zhou Guanyu goes to AlphaTauri, Dan Ticktum goes to Aston Martin, Richard Verschoor goes to Haas, Teo Pourchaire goes to Alpine, and that leaves Yuki Tsunoda, Yuri Vips, and Nicholas Latifi all as free agents. And heading into 2026, there is a regulation change to the chassis, power, and durability departments. I can't believe I'm saying this, but in 2026, Alessio Dell'Edda won his first ever World Drivers' Championship as he took 14 wins, 413 points to finish P1. Kevin Magnussen takes 1 win, 253 points to finish P2. Max Verstappen takes 2 wins, 249 points to finish P3. Charles Leclerc takes 4 wins, 245 points to finish P4. Lando Norris takes 0 wins, 232 points to finish P5. Richard Verschoor takes 0 wins, 144 points to finish P6. Lewis Hamilton takes 0 wins, 142 points to finish P7. Pierre Gasly takes 0 wins, 140 points to finish P8. And Valtteri Bottas takes 1 win, 132 points to finish P9. What a crazy season. Fiat win their first ever World Constructors' Championship, followed by Alpine, crazy enough, in P2, Ferrari at P3, Haas P4, Williams are up in P5, Alfa Romeo's P6, McLaren is P7, AlphaTauri P8, Red Bull P9, Mercedes P10, once again, insane, and then Aston Martin still in dead last. Really nothing changes there. And there was also a lot of mid-season driver transfers as Yuki Tsunoda went to Mercedes, Mick Schumacher went to Ferrari, Yuri Vips went to Alpine, and that leaves Liam Lawson, Robert Schwartzman, and Teo Pourchaire as free agents. And at the end of the year, Lewis Hamilton decides to retire from Formula 1, Yuki Tsunoda goes to McLaren, Robert Schwartzman goes to Mercedes, Enzo Fittipaldi goes to Red Bull, Dan Ticktum goes to McLaren, Nicholas Latifi goes to Aston Martin, and George Russell ends up as a free agent. And heading into 2027, there is no regulation change. In 2027, Charles Leclerc wins his 5th World Drivers' Championship of the simulation as he takes 9 wins, 430 points to finish P1. Charles Leclerc takes 4 wins, 349 points to finish P2. Yuri Vips takes 0 wins, 248 points to finish P3. Kevin Magnussen takes 0 wins, 247 points to finish P4. Mick Schumacher takes 0 wins, 201 points to finish P5. Ralph Boschung takes 4 wins, 193 points to finish P6. Alessio Deletta takes 4 wins, 174 points to finish P7. Dan Ticktum takes 153 points to finish P6. And Daniel Ricciardo takes 1 win, 89 points to finish P9. Ferrari win their 4th Constructors title of the simulation, followed by McLaren P2, Alpine P3, Fiat P4, Mercedes P5, Red Bull P6, AlphaTauri P7, Haas P8, Alfa Romeo P9, Williams P10, and Aston Martin in dead last. In the driver transfer market, at the mid-season, Ralph Boschung goes to Fiat and Alessio Deletta ended up as a free agent. George Russell and Mick Schumacher both retire at the end of the year. That leaves Liam Lawson going to Ferrari, Alessio Deletta going to Mercedes, Daniel Ricciardo going to Red Bull, Enzo Fittipaldi going to McLaren, and that leaves Dan Ticktum as a free agent. And heading into 2028, there is a regulation change to the aero and power departments. In 2028, Yuki Tsunoda wins his first ever World Drivers' Championship as he takes 12 wins on the year, 485 points to finish P1. Charles Leclerc takes 5 wins, 307 points to finish P2. Antonio Giovinazzi takes 2 wins, 267 points to finish P3. And Ralph Boschung takes 3 wins, 264 points to finish P4. McLaren win their first Constructors title since the 90s, followed by Fiat in P2, Ferrari P3, Alpine P4, AlphaTauri P5, Alfa Romeo P6, Haas P7, Red Bull P8, Mercedes P9, Williams P10, and Aston Martin in dead last. At the mid-season, Dan Ticktum went to Ferrari and Liam Lawson ended up as a free agent at the end of the season. Enzo Fittipaldi goes to Ferrari, Esteban Ocon goes to McLaren, Teo Pourchaire goes to Alfa Romeo, Jehan Daruvala goes to Mercedes, Zhou Guanyu goes to Mercedes, Liam Lawson goes to AlphaTauri, Felipe Drugovich goes to Alpine, and that leaves Dan Ticktum, Alessio Deletta, Robert Schwartzman, and Kevin Magnussen as free agents. And heading into 2029, there is no regulation change. In 2028, Charles Leclerc becomes a 6-time World Drivers' Champion as he takes 9 wins on the year, 421 points to finish in P1. Yuki Tsunoda takes 5 wins, 330 points to finish P2. Esteban Ocon takes 1 win, 254 points to finish P3. Enzo Fittipaldi takes 3 wins, 232 points to finish P4. Alexander Albon takes 2 wins, 215 points to finish P5. Antonio Giovinazzi takes 1 win, 210 points to finish P6. And Pierre Gasly takes 1 win, 191 points to finish P7. Ferrari win their 5th Constructors title of the simulation, followed by McLaren P2, Fiat P3, Red Bull P4, AlphaTauri P5, Haas P6, Williams P7, Alpine P8, Alfa Romeo P9, Mercedes in P10, and Aston Martin still in dead last. We have some more mid-season driver transfers as Dan Ticktum went to AlphaTauri, Liam Lawson went to Alfa Romeo, Robert Schwartzman went to Alpine, and that left Teo Pourchaire and Felipe Drugovich as free agents. At the end of the season, Charles Leclerc, as a 6-time world champion, decided to retire from Formula 1 at the top of his game. That moves Liam Lawson to Ferrari, Alessio Deletta to Alfa Romeo, Kevin Magnussen and Teo Pourchaire both go to Mercedes. That leaves Jehan Daruvala and Zhou Guanyu as free agents, and heading into 2030, there is no regulation change. In 2030, Yuki Tsunoda wins his second World Drivers' Championship as he takes 8 wins on the year, 380 points to finish P1. Esteban Ocon takes 5 wins, 331 points to finish P2. Antonio Giovinazzi takes 2 wins, 276 points to finish P3. Alexander Albon takes 2 wins, 252 points to finish P4. Enzo Fittipaldi takes 2 wins, 195 points to finish P5. And Lando Norris takes 3 wins, 146 points to finish P6. McLaren win their second Constructors title of the simulation, followed by Ferrari P2, Fiat P3, Red Bull at P4, AlphaTauri at P5, Williams P6, Mercedes P7, Haas P8, Alpine P9, Alfa Romeo P10, and Aston Martin in dead last. In the driver transfer market, Lando Norris went to Ferrari mid-season, Zhou Guanyu went to Alfa Romeo mid-season, and that left Liam Lawson as a free agent. And at the end of the season, going into the final season in 2031, Alessio Dell'Etta goes to Mercedes, Teo Pourchaire goes to Alfa Romeo, Max Verstappen goes to Mercedes, Kevin Magnussen goes to Williams, Pierre Gasly goes to Alfa Romeo, Valtteri Bottas goes to AlphaTauri, Felipe Drugovich goes to Haas, and Zhou Guanyu ended up as a free agent. And heading into the last season of 2031, there is a regulation change to the chassis departments. In 2031, Esteban Ocon won his first ever World Drivers' Championship as he took 8 wins on the year, 386 points to finish P1. Yuki Tsunoda took 6 wins, 315 points to finish P2. Lando Norris takes 3 wins, 291 points to finish P3. Antonio Giovinazzi takes 1 win, 281 points to finish P4. Enzo Fittipaldi takes 2 wins, 249 points to finish P5. And Alexander Albon takes 2 wins, 248 points to finish P6. McLaren win their third Constructors title of the simulation, followed by Ferrari P2, Fiat P3, Red Bull at P4, Mercedes P5, Haas P6, Alpine P7, Williams P8, Alfa Romeo P9, AlphaTauri P10, and Aston Martin. I don't think they even moved from dead last. In the driver transfer market, mid-season, Liam Lawson went to Aston Martin, and Nicholas Latifi was left as a free agent. And now, guys, it is time to take a look at the final stats for all 10 years. At the end of all 10 years, Charles Leclerc won 6 World Drivers' Championships, Yuki Tsunoda won 2, somehow Alessio Dell'Etta won 1 championship, and Esteban Ocon won 1 championship. In terms of World Constructors' Championships, Ferrari had 5, McLaren had 3, Red Bull had 1, and Fiat had 1. But most importantly, in terms of wins, Charles Leclerc had 73 as he dominated the decade, Yuki Tsunoda had 35, Alessio Dell'Etta was third, apparently with 18 wins, Esteban Ocon had 14, Norris had 12, Albon had 12, Russell and Fittipaldi had 9, Hamilton had 8, Verstappen and Boschung had 7, Giovinazzi had 5, Sainz had 4, Ricciardo had 3, Kevin Magnussen had 2, and Bottas and Pierre Gasly both had 1 win. This was a very crazy simulation, and once again, thank you to Volley Gray for helping me out with today's video. Really appreciate all the work he did getting all these simulation stats for me. Really appreciate that. Also, I can't believe that Norris and Verstappen both did not win a world championship in this simulation. It would have been even crazier if Leclerc didn't even win one, as those three tend to dominate all the time. But with that being said, guys, if you did enjoy, hit that like button, subscribe, share with your friends, join my Discord, link is in the description down below. And with that being said, see you guys next time. Goodbye.